Well, first of all, congratulations to Illinois, and they flat out beat us today, and then it's all right. We gotta, no one wants to be where we're at, and yet I think told the team there's one response, and that's us continuing to come together, and we gotta make sure, in my opinion, we gotta play better football, and we gotta get to where you're playing one team, the opponent. And I thought there was enough times, certainly three turnovers, and all three, end up being big plays, lead to scores, given in good field position. That makes it harder, and the penalties and I'm anxious to see some of them. There was a lot of contact out there in the passing game, but certainly penalties are hard when you give a team yards or when you take away yards. And that's where we've got to be better. I've got to do a better job, and this is a time like this. It's going to take everyone, and certainly got leaders on this team that I believe in. And they've got a part, but everyone's got to own it, and everyone's a part of this whole deal, and so we all got to be a part of the solution. And it's hard, right? Anytime, and our players, anytime you invest and put yourself out there, and I appreciate that from them. And it doesn't always go your way, and so we gotta help them. We gotta help each other, and come back and get another opportunity to play.
You made some changes, staff changes in the offseason, not all by choice, obviously, with Gary Brown.
Right.
But you're still struggling, especially on offense. Is your confidence shaken at all in the staff's ability, your ability to get this team up and running the way it should be? Are you concerned that your players' confidence is shaken at this point?
Yeah, I think that there's a few things in the question, and absolutely, do we want to be, and do we need to be, to give ourselves a chance to win? We got to be playing better, certainly offensively. There's no doubt about it. You got to score points to win, and we haven't been scoring enough, right? I mean, that's obvious, and I think that we've got to do a good job. Is it? You take a look at everything, and you're always going to look at everything. How are we coaching them? What are we doing? And I think it's it's unfair, and we just got to play better. You know what I mean? And there are things we didn't run the ball well today, and we had a good first drive, and that was about it, really. And I think that, when you do convert on third downs, we weren't very good on third down. When you convert on third down, now you've got more offense. So we just haven't been putting things together, and that's something that if we're going to be, we need to be better, right? It's got to give our team a chance to win. You got to play better offensively, and I think we're all part of the solution.
Well, what were the biggest challenges that the way Illinois was playing up front gave to your offensive line? Because, like you said, just weren't able to run the ball, and then Graham got sacked 6 times. Yeah,
I mean, it's a good defense. Thought coming into the game, good defense, and they trusted their man coverage, and therefore it allows you to get a hat, extra hat down in the box, and they're going to gap it out, and you got some things that we've been able to do, and when you do, they become big. But if you don't win, you're one-on-ones. If anyone's off, it's tough. And what's awesome about this game is it takes 11 on every play, offensively, defensively, special teams. It really does, and every now and then you've got some guys that can erase a mistake, right? You can make up for something maybe, but all in all, it takes 11, and that's where we've got to be better. We're all 11 are in sync, and that gives you then a chance.
It appeared Graham got banged up a little on that second interception. He had his hand or wrist, I think, taped the rest of the game, non-throwing. What kind of impact do you think that had on him the rest of the game, if at all, from your perspective?
Yeah, I think that I thought he dealt with it, and I don't think that was the issue or the problem. And any time that everyone knows it. When you can make the quarterback uncomfortable, when you get hits on a quarterback, when there's pressure, that affects it more than anything. And we had one early and brought out pressure. I thought we could have gotten to something different right there. And there's times where we're getting beat on it. And I thought that you got to, like I said, going in, the majority of the game was going to be a man-to-man game, and you got to win your one-on-ones, and then you got to protect. You got to win the one-on-one, and then you got to deliver it. And we didn't do that enough.
Paul, the first half, I'm sure you weren't completely happy with, but you're in the game at that point. What's your message at halftime? Just curious, because it seemed like the team was flat in the second half. Were you? I don't know if you're the type to scream when you don't like what you see, but I'm curious what the halftime was like for you.
Well, I mean, you're at a moment right there. I sensed that we were at a moment at halftime, and how we come out, and how we're going to play this, right from the get-go, and didn't get, not a great way to start. They come down and they drive and then score, and then the fumble on the return. Certainly not what you want, because like you said, you're in a game, and that makes it, again, turnovers, things like that make it that much harder, right? And we've got to be better in that area to give ourselves a better chance.
Do you think in the first half, and even after that fumble on the kickoff return in the second half, do you think your defense held up for the most part and at least gave your offense a chance to maybe get something going?
Yeah, I thought there was a stretch there. I thought they were playing, there was some drives, and they made some plays. I'm not saying that, but did a good job. And I thought, that's where we didn't complement each other, in my opinion. That, like I said, the first score was a short field, off of the pick. And then, had another short field off of the second half return, and I thought there was a number of times where they did a good job and stepped up, and that's where we just gotta play better football and better complementary football.
Yeah, Paul. What were your thoughts on the defensive pass interference calls and what your guys could have done better there?
Yeah, I'm anxious to see it. There was a lot of pushing and shoving and grabbing, and saw it on both sides. And so I'm anxious to see it.
Paul, a lot of you guys talked about responding and bouncing back after last week. Are you disappointed in how they came out at certain times, or just how do you feel about how they responded to a bad loss last week?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's. I think there's always the response. You can have some guys that respond well. It just doesn't go the way you want it to go, right? I mean, you still get to and have to play the next game, and so I think that those are all lessons that you've got to learn, and that the game forces you to learn. And just because you may have understood it and know what the response got to be, you still have to then go out and. The thing that is awesome about this game is it is a team game, and that's where you're going to win as a team and you're going to lose as a team, and I think there's an energy in that, there's an accountability to that, it's got all of it put together, right, and so I think that we gotta rally as a team, and that's where we're at right now. It's not gone how anyone would want it to go, but the response, and it's a continual response, it's got to be strong, and we got one way to go. We got to learn from all the things that happen, but we got one way to go, and that's to go forward.
Paul, how did you feel practice went this week, and why don't you think that translated to what we saw today?
Well, I mean, each week you get to play a game, and I thought there was some moments in practice, like every week, that was good, and there's some things in practice that you're glad it's practice, and you're glad to keep going, and then you get to play the game, and you play it together. And obviously, we didn't do enough today to give ourselves a chance to win.
Paul, where are you at emotionally right now, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, you're been around this game for a long time, and I think it's one of the things that you respect about the game. And do you want to be better? Absolutely, and you just want to focus on the things that you can do to help move the needle, help our players and us as coaches, and knew going in, all right, and been fortunate to be around and having coached a long time. It's never easy, and so didn't think it was going to be easy, and yet I believe in this group, and I like this group. I appreciate where they're coming from and how they go about it, and I look forward to each day I get to be with them, and we get to be together again, and we got to roll up our sleeves and continue to go to work.
Paul, you mentioned response. If you look at the first early few minutes, touchdown drive, you're up, your defense forces a punt. You're starting from your 3, but you're in decent shape.
Right.
Do you think that interception turned the momentum in Illinois' favor? And do you think from that point on, your players, at least some, weren't able to respond and swing it back in your favor?
There's no question. I think that was one where not just the pick, but the yards after on it. So all of a sudden it goes, we're backed up. And then we throw the pick and the good return after it, and now it's a short field, and I think that does, and we got to be a team, a group that, okay, when that stuff does happen, all right, we got to answer it, and I thought that there's another time we came back and the offense answered a score with a score. That's kind of how you have to play, complementary, and so I think that there will always be, in every game we play, there's going to be those momentum swings. And I think that's part of what good teams can do. And teams that, if you want to give yourself a chance to win each and every Saturday, you've got to be able to handle those ebbs and flows and those momentum swings. And there aren't many games where the momentum isn't going to shift. And that's where a individual, a group, a unit, whatever that may be, has to kind of seize that moment. Okay, we've got that moment. Here's how we stop the momentum, and certainly didn't do it enough today.
Well, I know it's tough right after a game, but is there any update you can give for guys like Hayden, Keontae, or Isaac?
Yeah, Brian came by, our trainer came by real quick, and said, Keontae was back on the field, and so I'm hopeful, but I don't know, and certainly Rooch and Isaac, I don't know exactly. I'm sorry on that one.
Yeah, Paul, with some of the penalties and special teams miscues and drops and things like that, do you attribute that to a lack of focus, or just what's your take on that?
I mean, I didn't think that. Okay, big miscue was drop on the kickoff return. All right, there's not one part of me that believes Isaac said this. I'm going to go here, and I'm just coming out. I'm just going to show up, and didn't know they were going to kick to me, and not buying that, And there's a guy that, boy, I appreciate everything he does, and it's first one I remember him dropping, and. And I understand what you're asking, but I don't believe. I think every guy takes that field with the right intentions and going. And does that go back to, our guys pressing, or is it I don't know that answer, right? I think that there's a fine line there, right? And I think that you've got to be able to certainly play the game, and when it comes your way. You got to be able to seize those moments. And, the fine line is those who press are guys that want to do anything they can for this team. And that's always a little bit dangerous because you still have to, and you get to play the game. It's a reactionary game. You got to be in position so when something comes your way, you're ready to take advantage of it. So I don't know, and to be fair to our guys, I'd want to see everything before speaking on what I believe. But I do know, some of those that stick out to me like that, you wish they wouldn't happen, and no one more so than the individual that it happens to. But they do, and every time something like that happens, we still always have. I thought there was a response off of that, but it makes it harder. It sure makes it harder.